Hello, welcome to Jazzy J's Crime Corner. Well, I'm Jazzy J, and this is the corner where we get up into some crime cases. But before we get up into it, I just want to give a disclaimer that any information shared on this video is from other public platforms, public records, and public news. I'm not a professional, this is only my opinion. Please remember to be respectful to the victims and everybody involved. Remember that all suspects are innocent unless proven guilty. And please, let's offer many, many, and more prayers to the situation in its entirety. Now let's get up into it. 29-year-old Elizabeth Barraza, born June 26, 1989, grew up in Southeast Texas, worked as a data reporter for a pipeline inspection company. She was known to be sweet, creative, and loved helping others. She enjoyed reading and watching Harry Potter, and adored dressing up as a Star Wars character to regularly visit sick kids in a nearby hospital. She was married to Sergio Barraza, college sweethearts, who had many of the same things in common and same interests. Got married in 2014 and bought their first home a few years later. So, coming up on their 5th year marriage anniversary, Elizabeth and Sergio had a trip planned to Orlando, Florida on January 27, 2019 to celebrate. But before that, on Thursday, January 24, 2019, Elizabeth thought it'd be a great idea to have a last-minute garage sale to earn some extra cash for the trip. Between that Thursday evening and that Friday morning, she did go out and allegedly put out 2 signs that said, "Hey, yard sale," and it allegedly didn't even have the address on it. So on Friday, January 25th, 2019, she already had a day off. She went outside and started setting up for the yard sale. About 6:08 a.m., she went to grab some Starbucks and came back home. And then at 6:48 a.m., her husband Sergio left for work like he always do. And it was said that he allegedly went about 5 miles away from the home and met with his work crew. And then, unfortunately, a few minutes after her husband left the house, at 6:52 a.m., this happened. Elizabeth was shot 3 times in the chest, and then the person stood over her and shot one more time in the head. So one of her neighbors actually heard all of this and ran to the window and saw the suspect leaving the scene in a black Nissan Frontier pickup truck. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the license plate number. And then after receiving multiple calls from the neighbors, police was there in literally a few minutes. So while the police was on scene, they ended up triggering an alarm that was set on the house, and it alerted Elizabeth's parents, Bob and Rosemary. Unable to get in touch with Elizabeth and unable to get in touch with Sergio, they was like, "Go ahead and send the police out. We don't know what's going on. We can't get in touch with the owners, and we're going to head that way too." And they was about 15 minutes away. Not knowing, the police was already there. Of course, Sergio also got the triggered alarm alert, and he looked on the Ring camera, allegedly, and he's like, he see all these police, and he like, "What is going on?" I'm paraphrasing, but he on the Ring camera like, "Hey, what's up, what's going on?" Nobody's answering him, nobody's telling him what's going on, so he like, "Oh, let me get to the house. It's police surrounding the house. I know my baby was doing a yard sale. Let me go find out what's going on." Though still alive on scene, Elizabeth Barraza was clinging to life and wasn't announced deceased until Saturday, January 26, 2019 at 1:40 p.m. And of course, the first theory would be the husband, because that's the person that's closest to the victim. But looking into Sergio, even though he was acting a little weird on the scene when he came, everybody grieved different. So you can't go by the way somebody would react. But even looking into him, the investigators could not find anything to consider him as a suspect. No marriage problems, no relationship issues, no affairs, no financial issues, nothing. Like, even the parents stood by him and was like, he couldn't have done nothing. He couldn't have had nothing to do with this. Another theory that was put out there allegedly by Sergio was that Elizabeth had like a little back and forth with this lady from a fan club that he was a part of called the 501st Legion. They just had like a little beef, nothing too major, allegedly. And the investigators looked into that, but came up to nothing. Another theory that was put out there was that it could have been a hired hitman. But hired by who? Hired for what? When you look at the video, you could even see Elizabeth kind of jump back. Like, she said good morning. The person walked up to her and she kind of was like taken aback a little bit. So she probably didn't even know the person. So maybe to kind of go with the hitman theory, the suspect's truck was also seen that Friday morning at 2 a.m. driving through the neighborhood. Though it didn't drive through, like, past their house, it drove through the neighborhood. So we don't know if they were trying to get a feel of the neighborhood to see, you know, an escape plan or what the case may be. But they did drive through their neighborhood a little bit before 2 a.m. And also, the suspect had to use like a revolver because there were no shell casings on the scene. So that might kind of go with the hitman theory too. So yeah, comment down below and tell me what you think. Do you think that the husband had something to do with it? Do you think that it was just a random because of the yard sale? Maybe they saw the signs and was like, let me slide through. Maybe like a robbery going wrong. Do you think it was a professional hit hired by somebody? Or do you think it was a lady from the fan club? Because I don't know. This one, I really don't know. It's weird. But I pray that the family gets justice. Well, thank you for watching Jazzy J's Crime Corner. I hope to see you in the comment section down below. And I hope to see you in the next case that we get up into.